Gospel Community Church is a multilingual, multicultural family of differently abled individuals on mission to see the name of Jesus made famous among the oppressed, overlooked, and unreached peoples of the world, beginning in our own backyard. Hi, my name is Danny Hinton, and I'm the pastor at Gospel Community Church. It's probably 8 years ago. I was working as a full-time interpreter for the deaf and hard of hearing in a little small town in Muhlenberg County. And a buddy of mine's a pastor at a local church, invited me. Somebody had stepped out of a ticket to the Catalyst Conference in Atlanta. As they scrolled through the screen, like just a listing of the unreached people groups in the United States and across the planet, they were starting with the smallest groups and rolling their way to the largest unreached people groups. And fourth from the top, it just said deaf. That was it. And I just sat there in this conference full of 18,000 people. And I'm like, that can't be true. And so I literally walked outside, called the International Mission Board, and found out that 750 million deaf people on the planet globally were unreached with the gospel. And in the United States alone, 7.5 million deaf individuals were unreached. They didn't have any access to the gospel. They didn't have translations of the Bible. And my home state, Kentucky, 110,000 deaf individuals, culturally deaf individuals without access to the gospel. And then I think the most shocking thing for me was finding out that there were only 39 churches of any denomination across the board planted with the specific purpose of reaching the deaf with the gospel. These were people that I'd spent the last 30 years working with. They weren't just a statistic or a number, but they were friends and family members and cousins and uncles, and it was people that I knew. And so that day, I just began to pray that God would open a door. And a word got out that a guy that had actually gone to seminary can sign, and I began to get phone calls across Nashville, Virginia, Ohio, as far as Seattle. Deaf churches, just by way of survival, were very in-focused, very let's just hold on to the $50 we've got in our budget to buy coffee, and let's just keep the doors open, let's just keep together. And there was no equipping the saints for the work of the ministry, no reaching the neighborhood or taking the gospel outside the doors. I'm not necessarily a gifted church planner, not necessarily a gifted pastor. I happen to be gifted with the language and the culture of the people that I've grown up in. And so I knew from the beginning we were going to need lots of help. Sojourn is very gifted and diversely gifted with how to plant. And we knew with 7.5 million individuals just in our Judea and Samaria, not counting our Jerusalem, 1,800 deaf individuals. If we were ever going to replicate this, we need people that know what they're doing, because we've got to plant and plant and plant and train up and plant. I didn't expect it to be, welcomed like we were, though. I'll be just honest, we're an oddball. We're a red marble in a bag full of blue marbles. We're a deaf church plant that's cross-cultural, multilingual, with a group of individuals that most people consider handicapped. Why in the world would Sojourn Network, who plants these robust, theologically sound churches, ever consider helping a little small, dinky, deaf church plant like us? And we walked in day one, and it was open arms. Wow, we love what you're doing. This is the mission of God. And they just got right behind us.